This Diddy docuseries that 50 Cent just released on Netflix, documenting how horrible of a human being Diddy is, could be backfiring on 50 Cent. People are taking to social media in droves to call out 50 Cent just as much as they're calling out Diddy. The Diddy docuseries didn't really tell me nothing new about Diddy, and that was one of the critiques. A lot of the stories, to be honest, maybe...
Nope. If you've been in the internet streets, you heard all that stuff before. It was kind of cool to see him riding around New York on a bike and stressing before he's about to go down or whatever. But pretty much all the stories have been told before. A little bit of new information, not too much.
Because I watch too much YouTube and I watch too many interviews, but like a lot of the stories I already heard on platforms like Art of the Dialogue, Vlad TV, Street Life TV. Like I already heard a lot of these stories on those platforms. And I been knew Diddy was a terrible human being. I didn't need a 50 Cent docuseries to tell me this, to be honest.
It was interesting,
but nonetheless, though, even though I didn't find the docuseries all that useful, I'm still not against the docuseries because I do think that terrible people should be exposed. Like bad people should be exposed and should be outed. But the one thing I noticed when it comes to hip hop is abusers, perpetrators, bad people aren't usually met with the expected backlash. Like I expected everybody to watch the documentary and say, okay, I didn't really learn too much, but I mean, you know, Diddy being outed is a good thing. It's a plus. But instead, what I've been seeing, and maybe it's just my algorithm, what I've been seeing is people taking to social media to criticize 50 Cent for doing a docuseries more than they're criticizing Diddy for all the horrific things they've heard and seen Diddy do. All right, now there are two types of people who've been criticizing 50 Cent, street dudes and 50 Cent haters, right? Street dudes are criticizing 50 Cent because they live by the stupid code of conduct of the streets and they believe that what 50 Cent is doing is snitching and that 50 Cent is trying to put charges on Diddy.
You're not really snitching about nothing. It's all out there. He just put it all together.
Which, if Diddy did half the things that he's been accused of in his documentary, Diddy deserves to rot in a jail cell.
Yo, my honest opinion about the Diddy documentary, 50 on some criminal. It's fair and balanced. How? Snake trying to incriminate nigga on charges. Like, what's wrong with y'all?
I mean, he already incriminated on charges. It's nothing that was in that the police don't already know.
Where I'm from, that's dry snitching. And we're unemployed.
There's very few times that understanding why everyone, literally everyone on the face of the planet, everyone, there's not a soul I know who don't despise and hate street dudes. This is one of the rare times where it's self-explanatory, bruh. All right, we're talking about things that have to do with domestic violence, things that have to do with damn near murder for hire, things that have to do with horrific things that have to do with grape, assaults, right? Snatching cootie cat and mill butt. Things that are just degenerate, deviancy. And the first thing that goes in your mind is, oh, nah, that's snitching, oh, nah, that's snitching, blood.
That's how people is. That's why we continue to be on the bottom of the totem pole. Because we allow, when good people allow degeneracy to go unchecked, it grows, it festers. If we just turn the other cheek, it's like not sweeping up the trash on your own street.
Now you can't work with the white man. Man, cut it out, bruh. 50 Cent is a 50-year-old multi-millionaire, 100 millionaire, bro. You think he worried about the street code? Also, 50 Cent got a team. His team put this together. His team found the clips. His team conducted an interview. 50 Cent is just like the project manager. 50 Cent did no snitching in this, bro. 50 Cent was the project manager. His team put this together. Now you're saying if you were ever in the streets at some point, bro, 50 probably ain't been in the streets like what, like 30 years? If you were ever in the street at some point in your life, you can no longer transition in any other avenues. So this 20-year-old boy, let's say, who's in the hood right now, or let's say him, because right now you a dusty street dude. Does that mean you have to be a dusty street dude your entire life?
That's how people feel. They want to be like that. It's too many people that feel like that. It's too many people who continue their activities once they're on. How many rappers and celebrities and rich people that have escaped the streets still find themselves tied up in some sort of court case or street situation because they were keeping it real.
Probably be a dusty street dude your entire life, but do you have to be? You could transition from out of this dusty phaser, and you could do movies one day. You could work with Netflix one day. You could do certain things. You could spearhead a project. I thought the rules to the streets was you can't talk to the police or give the police information. Now you guys is extending
It ain't
that
no rules.
to make life just almost impossible for any.
It ain't no rules, because then when it come down to it, they all snitching anyway. How many times we seen it?
Anybody who was ever in the streets. But people are not falling for it no more, bro. All right, people are waking up.
And I know niggas gonna be like, oh, nah, that's a business move. That nigga bitter because Diddy had his baby moms and was taking care of his kid. Y'all.
I mean, both things can be true. Don't get it confused. He probably do feel some kind of way about that too.
Doing 550, like he be doing real shit. This the same guy to leave his kids for dead. But y'all be sitting up here bashing y'all baby fathers or bashing that do that. And this out here worrying about Diddy. Like, it ain't that much hate you got for to be really putting your, like, waking up and really worrying about another. Buying information. Like, you putting too much time in that. You must be really wanting to go shopping. Because you put mad time into this life. Worrying about what this like. It ain't that much hate because the nigga said they want to take you shopping. I guarantee a white nigga probably served worse. Like, that shit is unbiased, nigga. That shit is not balanced, nigga. Like, he trying to incriminate that, and y'all up here applauding that shit. Like, and I see real niggas like, nah, 50 documentary so fire. Yeah, this, Biggie this, Tupac this. Like, y'all niggas is crazy. Like, for real.
These the type of Neanderthals when you ask them, hey, bro, yo, if a dude who touched kids lived next door to you, what would you do? Would you tell the police you know he's touching kids? These are the type of Neanderthals obsessed with being so soft. They will look you dead in your eyes and tell you, nah, bro, I ain't never snitching. I don't care what happened. I ain't never talking to the police. I ain't never talking to the police. I'll just up and move. I'll just up and leave, right? I'll just up and go before I tell the police. Oh, excuse me? It's telling because you are notifying the police that somebody touching this. There's no reason to rationalizing with people like this, right? They're just too small brain. Now, this is coming from me, who y'all know I am public. I got backlash for saying I don't believe that Diddy should have gotten charged with the RICO. But because I said that, people misunderstood me saying free Diddy. Like, fam.
Yeah, I feel the same way. Definitely, he wasn't charged properly. We wasn't talking about domestic violence. I believe that was past the statute of limitations. You know, the conspiracies, the murder for hires and stuff like that. Sure, they should be investigated. Absolutely.
It was free Diddy from the RICO because he ain't do the RICO. The RICO was a crazy charge. But am I living under this delusion that Diddy is a good person? Absolutely not. Diddy is a terrible human being. He's terribly horrific. But then there's the people who believe that 50 Cent is just as terrible. And they believe that 50 Cent doing this is hypocritical, and people supporting 50 Cent doing this is hypocritical. Because if y'all have a problem with Diddy, right, y'all should also have a problem with 50 Cent according to them.
I'm not interested in a
what's that?
Not kind, ill intent.
Is that an X-Man? I don't know. Just let me know. Let me know in the chat. Is that an X-Man?
Man, harmful man doing a documentary, producing a documentary about another unkind, ill-intentioned, harmful man. 50 Cent making a documentary about Sean Combs is not about him amplifying the stories of people he victimized, or it's not even about him really giving a fuck about people who experience sexual harm. This is the man. Yeah, Tierra Marie played and all that other stuff, but for me, with the 50 Cent Tierra Marie thing, it got to the point where it was like ugly, nasty bullying. 50 Cent don't give a fuck about black women.
Tierra Marie
That person sound like they wanted to get diddled.
Accused 50 Cent of sharing revenge corn. You don't know that video of Tia Marie giving fellatio sloppy toppy to an unidentifiable man. She claims that 50 Cent leaked that. 50 Cent said he didn't leak it at all. They went to court. 50 Cent was proved innocent. And Tia Marie owes 50 Cent, I believe, like $50,000 right now from legal fees. So I don't understand how you could use that situation like to prove that 50 Cent don't care about black women. Like the reason why they're saying that, and I've heard this brain rot theory before, they're claiming that because 50 Cent is enforcing and going after his $50,000, knowing Tia Marie don't have the $50,000 to give, and her life right now is in shambles, that 50 Cent is a bully. Listen,
Why do people think if you have a problem with one black woman or black person, you have a problem with all black people, when in regular life nobody lives like that? No, black people never live like that until until it's put on display. There's never a time where black people's like, no, that's my brother. We would never do that. You never say that. No, nobody says that to the murderers. Nobody said, except for when somebody has a problem that you don't like or it doesn't fit within your narrative. Oh, he don't care about black women. For that case, 90% of the rappers don't care about black women. Maybe he just don't care about that black woman.
bro, I got nothing against Tia Marie. I don't know that woman.
Me neither.
I always found her hella attractive, I'll be real. But that man going after his legal fees isn't bullying. That man demanding that she pays and holding her accountable and exhausting the lengths he go towards to hold her accountable is not bullying.
He don't give a fuck about women at all. He don't give a fuck about his children.
I would say that's bullying, but once again, that has nothing to do with the Diddy documentary. And whether or not he doesn't like black women doesn't make the Diddy documentary, doesn't give the Diddy documentary any less validity. You understand?
The biracial looking child is barely hanging on.
Yeah, he is
whatever
cold-blooded with
Curtis
the kids,
went
though.
through. There's a lot happening there. He's the rap mother Brian McKnight. But that being said, I don't want that story from him because you need your own documentary. You know what I'm saying? Like,
so you making it, stop hating with your deep voice.
and the other thing that's funny to me is that 50 Cent went out of his way to silence like the mother of his children from telling stories and being on platforms.
Right. Why wasn't she in the documentary? Oh, because he don't mess with her. He couldn't get her to go on the documentary. Plus, I heard Diddy still paying her rent, allegedly.
This is him having a messy get back. And then the Today Show and are interviewing him like he's some Patronus of valor or something like that. He's a trifling ass person. Even the whole BMF thing, it's like, you canceled that show. You ate off of this incarcerated, now formerly incarcerated, essentially elderly black man. And he gets out and you know his son barely know how to wash his ass. Right? You're finally supporting the family about getting opportunities, and like over your years-long beef with this other, this is all a circle jerk of ain't shit niggas. And I don't need
yeah, that could be true.
Discovery Go piece of media from any of them. I would just like them to go away.
Even if we
I feel the same. It's ironic. I feel the same way about you.
concede, or if
And maybe somebody feel that way about me. That's fine. You ain't gotta watch it.
we go with whatever they're saying, because I don't know exactly what they are, to be honest. But whatever they're saying, if we go along with it and say, hey, 50 Cent's a bad person too. Okay, does that mean a murderer can't report a murder taking place?
Exactly.
Does that mean a rapist is not allowed to report a grape?
Yep.
Right? Does that mean, I don't know, right? A pedo can't report a kid being touched? Like, I don't understand where this line gets drawn at. Aren't bad people allowed to report other bad people for committing crimes? Now, if you have a problem with the celebration of 50 Cent, then we could probably have that discussion. Now, like, the critiques is cool, but I do feel like the biggest blowback from this, right, or the biggest, I don't know, man, like where I see it backfiring the most is the accuracy. Now, 50 Cent obviously didn't do the research himself. 50 Cent hired people to do that, and people are coming with their own stories, and they're telling stories from their perspective. However, there are media outlets like the Breakfast Club who are fact-checking a couple of things that was said during the docuseries, and those fact checks is coming back like those things are not 100% truthful. Diddy has already sent a cease and desist to Netflix. So if 50 Cent included anything in that docuseries that wasn't truthful,
Taxes is feeling unwelcome. Now taxes?
Diddy might do the 50 to 50. All right, sue and get that bag out of him.
Alrighty, y'all. So yesterday I was able to speak to Wayne Burrow, who worked with Miss Violetta Wallace, who is the mother of Biggie Smalls and managing her son's estate. Now he reached out to me, or I reached out to him, and then he was like, "Okay, I'm willing to get on the phone with you," because he says that a lot of people have been blowing them up following this documentary. And he wanted to speak out, and he made it clear that this is on behalf of Miss Violetta Wallace. He says there are a few allegations that he wanted to address from the doc. So number one, there's this allegation from the documentary that Diddy used Biggie's record label deal, or his own money, Biggie's own money, to pay for Biggie's funeral. So Wayne tells me that that is completely not true, that he himself officiated the funeral and planned it along with Kirk Burrows, who is in the documentary, Bad Boy staff, and that Bad Boy paid for everything. At no point was there any indication that any royalty statement that this would be coming from Biggie's account. So the family never paid for anything in regards to the funeral. He said Bad Boy and Diddy covered everything from the cars to the police to the funeral itself, and they wanted to make that clear. And he also says that it's disrespectful that anybody would even imply that, you know, Miss Wallace, Biggie's mom, or any of his close friends would even be that naive to allow something like that to happen and not catch it as they're watching the royalty.
That don't mean they was naive. It's possible that they could have just not known. Biggie had just passed. I'm sure his mother wasn't intricately involved in his business dealings up until that point. I mean, I don't know if it was true one way or another. I'm just, playing devil's advocate.
Statements and just different things that are coming in. He also talked to me a bit about the contract conversation. So there is a claim in the doc, and this has been a claim that's been circulating for some time, that right before Biggie's passing, there was an issue with contract negotiations between Diddy and Biggie Smalls. Mm-hmm. He says that is completely not true as well. He says that life after death was already done, so there was no contract negotiations happening. He says based on the sales and of the records and how everything was moving, Biggie had already recouped. Mm-hmm. So at that point, there was nothing to be talked about. But they did go back into a negotiation because they put out more music following the death of Biggie Smalls, and the conversation they had then was just about how that would happen and how splits would be. But that whole conversation around the contract and there being an issue with that as well, there's nothing to talk about. He says the contract was the contract and people just need to leave it at that.
And Barrow is Biggie's friend. He also managed Biggie at one point. He owned a remember that the what was it called? Oh, Jesus Christ. By Storm Entertainment. That's what they ran, which was a management company. I think they managed Shine at one point. They managed Nas at one point. They managed, of course, B.I.G. So he would know, right?
You mean Wayne Burrow?
Wayne Burrow.
Yes. Yeah, so he would know.
It'll also be interesting too to see like legally how this play out, because the person who told the story that Diddy used Biggie's estate to pay for his particular funeral, and he was also alluding to the fact that Diddy might have wanted Biggie dead, and that Diddy told Biggie to stay in LA, longer than Biggie wanted to stay, and when Biggie stayed longer, he ultimately got killed. They were alluding to Diddy got Biggie killed.
Right.
But
they didn't say it like that, but they were sort of, suggesting it.
There are stories being told by individual people who are telling their story, who are telling what they believe. So does that fall back on Netflix? Because Netflix is not the one making the accusations per se. When Netflix steps in, or when the narrator steps in, they're just narrating. But the individual people are the ones who are telling the story. Right. So do he sue those people, or do he sue Netflix and 50? Who knows, right?
We'll sue somebody.
Y'all let me know in the comment section. What do you guys think?
No, you niggas let me know in the comment section.